Forming a band is nothing new, but becoming a successful band is another story altogether. And right now, venues across Dublin are offering their hand to give up and coming bands a chance to share their ideas and creations with engaging crowds. The likes of the Workmans, Whelans, and Fibber Maggees in particular are notorious for offering gigs to bands with low entry costs and extended playtime on stage. It's gigs like these and fan support that has allowed my guests to grow into the household name that they are today. Azure are one of the hottest rock and roll prospects to come out of Dublin in the last few years, consisting of Sam Jones on vocals, Evanael Regnier on lead guitar, Sean Woods on bass, Devin Hanson on rhythm guitar, and Sam Parcon on drums. The band recently released their debut EP, Casa Del Dail, back in April, along with their two lead singles, Leave It Out and Getaway, accumulating more than 9,000 streams on Spotify. With that in mind, it's safe to say that Azure are a band to keep an eye on, with even more great music and gigs promised for the summer and onwards. They join me now to discuss their journey so far. Welcome to the show, lads. How are you getting on?
Hey, thanks for having us.
Hello.
How's it
Hello.
going?
It's good to have you on. And I think I'd ask you first, because I sort of know this as well. How did the band form in the first place?
Well, formed a very long time ago in school, 8 years almost, where I kind of went up to, I think it was a former drummer of ours, and now our current photographer. And I think I went to Devin as well, and it was like, "Do you want to start a band?" And we started a band, and then very soon afterwards, we dragged Evanael in and kind of just made really, really poor music for a long time. Didn't do very much, but we were just kind of a bunch of lads having fun. And even at one point, we had yourself, Ryan,
I remember
as
it
lead
well.
singer of the band. So
Yeah.
It was a good time. It was a good time, to be fair.
it was a good time. We had a lot of crack and stuff. So we kind of started taking it seriously when we started looking for a singer and a drummer properly, and that was the start of 2023, I think. Was it, Dev?
Was indeed, yeah.
Yeah,
Around
so
first quarter of 2023.
yeah, we started looking, and I think we found Sam in about April. Sam, our singer, who is unfortunately not with us today, but he is in spirit.
We miss you, Sam.
We always miss Sam.
You keep going, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So we had Sam in April, and then we found other Sam, I think, in August. So it's coming up to Sam 2, as we love to call him. His first year in the band now. So it's kind of great because we're now starting to come to a whole year with this current lineup and the way we've kind of run things. We're very happy how it's kind of gone so far.
Which one of you came up with the name Azure?
Devin.
Ooh.
Sean reminded me that it was me. To be honest, I completely forgot. Sean likes to spend his time, dwindling through our WhatsApp chat archive, and he came to me before our last gig in Workman's, and he mentioned it. He's like, "Oh, you were the one that came up with the name Azure," and I was like, I completely forgot. Like in my head, it was a collective thing, like we're all
It was a
just throwing
collective
out
decision.
random words. Collective decision. We're throwing out random words, random name ideas, and we somehow forged the name Azure, and we just kind of stuck with it.
Yeah.
And Evna, if I could ask you, what do you think makes Azure unique? What makes you stand out from other bands?
We play so many different types of music genres. Everybody says we're alt rock, but I think we're much more than that. We're much more open to different type of genres, different types of music sounds and all. So that's about it. Yeah,
Any
very
in
unique in that way.
any in particular?
Right now, I'd have to say she starts off, all slow and atmospheric, and then it runs into the reggae and then all boppy and everything. So I think that's the best song for sure.
Which one of you has the easiest job and who has the hardest job in terms of instrument or singing?
That's a very hard question.
Is it?
Yeah, and
Interesting question.
The answer is Sam, singer Sam.
He's got the easiest job.
He is definitely the easiest job He
And
just kind of shows up and says a few words and stuff.
and who has the hardest job then?
I
Hmm.
don't
So,
think there
Sean,
is.
who has the hardest
Who
job?
has the hardest job? Obviously, the bassist.
Oh, of course, of
I'm
course.
not biased at all.
Yeah,
I don't think there
no.
is. I don't think there is an easy or hard job
Mm.
in a band. It's if you're doing it right, it's not a hard job, and if you're doing it wrong, it's not easy. So there's no such thing as the hardest job. It's just kind of what you can bring to the table.
And how would you write your songs? How do you get your music to come together?
It kind of just starts on an idea. One of us will be like, "Hey, I have this riff," and starts playing it, and then the rest of us just kind of build up on that. We've always kind of gone collaboratively. So we'd just be jamming around, and then you'd see singer Sam sitting in the corner with his notebook and just kind of writing down stuff while we're all there, like completely locked in, like in the zone, just playing the music.
Yeah, in the moment.
What was it like putting the EP together, Casa Del Dail? What was the process behind that?
It was chaotic. Is definitely a way of putting
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
We went into Casa Del Dail knowing we wanted an EP, but not knowing what we were going to do with it. So like we went in, we recorded the first single and the second single, and we knew we were going to record Leave It Out and Getaway first. We had decided on that pretty much almost from day one. But then the other two songs, we had no idea what we were going to do. And it was almost up until like, when did we recorded the other two? We recorded them in January. And we went into that. We hadn't even decided it up until about 3 weeks before we went in to record. Yeah, so it was very chaotic. We didn't really know what we were doing. We weren't fully planning ahead. But it was very beneficial, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was about to say that. It was a good thing in a way because we had so many different ideas in the moment with the producer Ron and Beardfire and all. So it was a great time actually.
And could we see an album potentially down the line?
Not an album.
100%.
Not an album anytime soon, but we do have another EP that we are currently in production of. So we are going to be recording that now over the next few weeks and producing that and getting that ready to go, and that'll be out hopefully. The next single will be out hopefully in September.
Very good. And you've been obviously performing across different venues across Dublin. So there's the Workmans, Whelans, and Fibbers. But you've also played in Galway in the old 55 pub and Maggees in Drogheda. Would I be right in saying that? So
Yeah.
what was it like playing outside of Dublin for the first time? Was it nerve-wracking?
It was exciting, I would say. Like it was the way I would put it was like we got used to kind of only playing shows in Dublin and just playing the odd show in Fibbers or Workman's, whatever. But like the fact that we're actually kind of going out of the county and making a trip out of it as well was a whole other level, if you know what I mean. And the gigs themselves they went like grand as well, like same kind of vibes as Dublin. Different setting, different crowds as well. But no, I say playing gigs outside of Dublin and all around the country is like definitely like was phenomenal. Like
Can't
And
wait to do more.
I hope I can make the next one actually, to be fair, because I don't think I've seen yous live. I need to take that off my list. And obviously your main area I'd say is Spotify getting streams for your EP. But maybe this is just because this is my industry, but would you consider getting your songs played on radio? Is that an area you're targeting, or is it strictly just music platforms like Spotify and iTunes and SoundCloud?
So Kind of the streaming platform is huge, especially for the smaller artists, because it's very hard to get our music out on the radio. It's not as accessible as it's made out to be. It's very hard to even just to send your tracks onto these radio stations and then hear nothing back. Can be kind of a pain. So, like, we've had a few radio plays in the past, but very little, and like most of the methods of getting guaranteed radio play costs quite a lot of money. Money which we don't really have to spare when we can kind of focus more on the platforms that we mainly base our audience off. So that will be our Spotify listeners, and even Apple Music as well has been growing a bit, and YouTube Music. That's kind of our main focus. But getting radio play is like a huge kind of achievement as well, because it's a different industry altogether compared to streaming platforms.
And Sam, how have you found being in the band so far in your whole year?
It was grand. Like, I'm very new to Dublin. Like, as Devin said, that every gig that we had, I mean, outside Dublin, like, I'm also looking forward to it always. I'm always excited for it because I've never been to all of those places, and yeah, that's one of the things that I really looking forward to it. Especially we're doing outside Dublin gigs, so yeah. And then these lads are so great. I mean, yeah, I'm looking them as my brothers, yeah, because I don't have any brothers. I've only have sisters. So yeah, and then yeah, they're I'm having fun. Like, I have my family here, but I consider the lads as my second family.
Mm.
And every time I'm with them, like, yeah, I'm always feel safe.
How did you meet the lads? How did you meet them in the first place?
I got
Here
this
we
one.
go
I got this
again.
one. I got this one.
Okay, I think Sean has a has a wonderful idea
Yeah.
how he
We
met
found him on
me.
Facebook Marketplace.
Oh wow! I never would have considered going down that route.
For sale.
So we bought him off Facebook Marketplace. So
You bought him.
yeah, about a year ago. Warranty's almost running out.
Was Sam One found on a Facebook Marketplace?
Sam One was not found on Facebook Marketplace. I found him on a different online platform where I was looking for musicians.
And do you think it's difficult initially when you're finding new members? Say you haven't met the person or you're not familiar with them. Would you say like it's harder, or is it easier to form a band with people that you know and work off of what you have already at your disposal?
Depends on the people. While we were searching for musicians, we tried our hand with a lot of different people and different drummers, different singers, and they never really clicked properly. I think that's a big thing. It's individual people. It's not like they're coming into, as Sam described, a family. Like myself, Dev, and Evanael, we've kind of become this second family for each other. And then when Sam One walked in and started working with us, we instantly kind of hit it off and just clicked. So that was kind of the big thing. And the same happened then when Sam 2 walked in and just started like absolutely hammering the shit out of those drums. Sorry, my bad.
No, don't worry. We'll get it's. I've had an interview. Someone cursed as well. I just told them, listen, it's 9:30 at night. No one's going to be. At this point, like people are going to be either in bed or
Hope the kids are in
just.
bed.
Exactly. So
But yeah, he started hammering these drums, and he was just clicking in, locking in. We were all, I think we left that rehearsal for Sam after Sam's audition, and like myself, Dev, and Ev, all, I think even Sam 1 was with us. We were all just driving home and we were like, yes, he's in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of that's what happens when you're recording or when you're kind of forming a band or building up a lineup. You just have to find those people that click with you.
Where
And to
would
build
you?
on from what Sean was saying, sorry to go on,
No, don't worry.
but
Go ahead.
like it is, yeah, it's the people, but it's also it's like they have to be in it as well, if you know what I mean. Like we've had people coming into the band that we've had personal relations with, and they haven't really been in it. They've kind of come just kind of spend time with us. No names,
No.
but
Hands up, hands up.
and then we've
You're not
had
the
people
only
who
one,
have
don't
been
worry.
like complete outsiders to us, and they just don't really like. They are kind of in it, but they don't really click with us. They don't kind of slot into the kind of family, so to speak. But Sam one, he clicked instantly, and we knew like we wanted to keep things going with Sam. And then when Sam two came, he clicked instantly as well. And I always remember heading to practice that day, heading to the studio, and Sean mentions that we've got another drummer auditioning. Like I was a bit fed up at this point because I was like, oh, a new person kind of joining our little culture, our little family. Like, I'm not sure I'm going to enjoy this practice. And then Sam two strolls in, big smile on his face, and instantly I'm like, okay, we kind of adopted him at that point.
You happy with being adopted, Sam?
Yeah.
We wrote a song about it.
I just remember that night too, and when I came in, like, to be honest, I was quite nervous in that time, so I don't know what will I do. So when I came in, I was late. I think I was late on that time, or
Only
maybe
like 10 minutes, I think.
yeah. Then
One of
when
your
I
shorter
came in, so
delays, like.
I don't know what to do, so I just gave them a big smile, and then that's it. It works.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, that's history. We wrote a song about it. It's unintentionally, of course, but like one of our tracks, and the Soul Stricken Misfit Black, is unintentionally about Sam joining the band,
Insane.
and people don't realize that, and we didn't realize it until I was doing an interview with Sam One a while back about the EP, and it just kind of clicked with us at that moment. It was like, oh, it's actually about Sam too. So it's kind of just we adopted him into the clan, and that's history.
And where would you all like to see as you're heading in the future? What's your goals?
Bigger and better.
Same for the rest of us.
Yeah. Do some
Pretty
Asia
much.
tour.
Yeah. Just to stay consistent and just to keep the ball going, keep the ball rolling, and yeah, just bigger and
Keep
better.
that ball rolling upwards.
And my final question then, when can we see you play next?
Next gig is the 17th of July in Whelan's upstairs.
Very easy to get to. I'll make a note of
Very
it.
easy to get to. Tickets on whelanslive.com.
How much are tickets?
Tickets are €10.
Oh, that suits
A
me then.
bit pricey, but it's a premium
Nah,
concert. We're
that's-
playing with
that's-
Fused and Precinct, and I've seen both bands live. I'm good friends with both of them, and you're definitely not gonna want to miss this.
I'll make a note of it. And €10, I'll be willing to part ways with Sean Woods, Devin Hanson, Evanael Regnier, Sam Parcon, and Sam Jones. In with us in spirit of
We miss
Azure,
you, Sam.
headlining in Whelan's on July 17th. Thank you so much for coming on to the show today. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
bro.
very much, Ryan.